And that extra hour we got over the weekend just heated things up. So spring is sprung. We'll be back right after this. Yeah. Yeah, seen that before.
They're like, what?
Yeah,
Show us the show, the pre-show.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing I'm going to give you guys to start with. I really like daylight savings time. I prefer it much.
What we're on now, the daylight savings time, not standard time.
No, this is it. And this is what we're on 8 months.
Can we just leave it here?
Well, this is what we're on 8 months out of the year.
Yeah.
My preference would be to leave it here, but apparently, Chris, we're in the minority. Most people, for some reason, say they would prefer standard time, and that, in fact, is the proposal that's being floated and may actually happen in the halls of government, is they may do away with daylight savings time. And I just don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't know.
When I got home, I was so excited to have 2 hours of daylight.
Yeah.
So I was out working on my garden. Because that's the deal. The way my day is structured, I love, because I get home late a lot.
Yeah.
And so I still have some daylight now.
I'm a morning person. I like to get up. You know, if I can get up at 5, I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, I get it. It's dark, and daylight saving times makes it dark longer in the morning. But what somebody said to me, I thought was really smart when we were talking about this, is but you know, in the darkness of daylight savings time, the light's coming. It's dark in the morning, but the light, it's the light's coming. The sun's coming up.
Yeah.
When it gets dark at 4:30,
It's depressing.
it's a long time before the light's going to get there. So so that was their pitch. So standard time, it's getting dark early, and the dark is coming. But daylight savings time, the light is coming. And I think,
the light.
First of all, that's very poetic.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
Preach.
But that'll preach.
Amen, Brother Will.
But I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get my way, but I'm disappointed.
So that's weird. So,
yeah.
Okay, let me think about this. So if they go to standard time, and then the light naturally, grows throughout what is the, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. What is the latest it will be dark in the morning, and the latest it will be light in the evening?
Well, I think
sense?
what you saw
in the peak of summer.
So about Christmas is about your darkest time of year. So
21st.
whatever
Yeah,
it was,
December 21st, your darkest day.
December 21st, sunrise, that would be your latest, because we were on standard time then. And then if you just look at
So it's like 7:30 or something,
Yeah.
isn't it, in the morning?
around
When
here,
the light, when it finally,
sun comes
sunrise.
up, yeah.
Ding dong. I was like, where am I hearing that noise? It's from my phone.
feedback.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then you can just, kind of do the math. I mean, right now, our sun in June 20, whatever, will set, on savings time
After 9 o'clock.
about after
About
9 o'clock. So you roll that back an
seems
hour.
like, yeah.
Sunset is about 8:45.
Yeah.
Or, whatever.
So you roll that back
Light.
about an
Start by
hour.
9:15.
Yeah.
You roll that back about an hour. That's what it'd be like on standard time. So it would still be light until about 8 o'clock, even on standard time. But I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't matter
What?
because unless we go to daylight savings time year round, it doesn't solve my problem anyway.
That's the thing. Is quit screwing with my clock, okay?
Yeah, pick one.
I'm dragging.
My clock alone.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Get off
It's-
my lawn.
Exactly.
The benefits
messing
for
with me.
standard time is it apparently aligns more correctly with the actual solar cycle, so that noon is really when the sun
Standard
is at
time?
its standard
Oh,
time. Yeah,
Yeah, that makes
noon
sense.
is actually when the sun is at its highest peak, and
Yep.
Okay.
so that's the pitch I think for standard time. But that's as far as I can tell.
And look, most of the world is, on standard of some version of standard time.
Yeah.
So, and when you go down to the equator, you don't have light till 9 o'clock
Yeah.
at night. It's all very consistent year round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you go up to Alaska,
Yeah.
You've
ooh,
got-
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
24 hours of darkness and you've got 24 hours of light
Oh,
at different
yucca.
seasons.
Well, sometimes you've got months of darkness.
Right.
I mean, the sun never comes up.
Right.
If you're above the Arctic Circle or below the Antarctic Circle,
Yeah.
there are periods of time during the year when the sun never comes up for like 3 months. I don't know.
So this whole conversation is also very egocentric as well. So like,
Well, why shouldn't it be? You
Well,
say that like there's a problem
yeah,
with that.
right.
I'm wondering, like,
What? Not everybody lives at my latitude?
Well,
what?
they would if they were smart.
Yeah, that's right.
We're live, or the thing is.
Yeah, we are.
I like my.
We are?
Yeah, we're alive. I'm
We
watching.
know we are. We could hear it through your phone.
I know, but it's like nobody's joined in. It's very weird.
That
Beth
is-
hasn't
Oh,
said
we're doing this.
anything.
We're doing this by ourselves.
Yeah.
Beth, where are you?
happening?
No, I show we've got 3 viewers on
Send
this
out the
one
search
little,
party.
on this one feed, and then this is only one of multiple feeds. So
When I click on it, it goes to Rodney. Hi, Rodney.
Are we on Rodney's show? We
I
doing
don't know
Rodney's
what's
show
happening.
right now.
Anyway, it's probably it may just be
Oh,
Facebook
man.
lagging because
Well-
that's what it likes to do.
are we on K-Raj, Peter, or just Planet 417?
Oh, that may be the issue. I don't know.
I'm
He's like,
I'm
I
pulling
don't
the Planet 417 feed.
That may be the K-Raj feed may be the issue.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
what-
I was
that's-
such a ding dong. I was hearing feedback, and for whatever reason, it was quiet enough. It didn't make sense that it was my phone, so I was convinced it was coming from that TV, and I was like, "What is going on here?"
Well,
And then that was just a silly
it's the time change. It's messing with your brain.
Yeah, it is.
time change. Yeah. Oh,
I haven't
there we
been-
go.
I haven't
think
been-
it maybe the K-Raj feed's acting funky.
Okay. I have not been sleeping well either. The other night I just got up about 12:30 and sat up and played Diablo 4 until about 3 a.m. and
Ugh.
then went back to bed.
Burn.
So,
Yeah. Well, I'll get through the day. It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna
yeah,
be
the
okay.
older I get though, I think the less sleep I need, so it bothers me less.
I guess that's it. You just get used to being tired and achy and just deal with it. Like,
Maybe that is it.
Here we go.
I'm so like crotchety in
Yeah.
the morning. It's like, nah, I don't like it. I'm old.
But I
I'm
will say this.
cold.
Let's be positive.
Okay.
Yesterday, soccer training. It's week 2 now of the spring sports. Even though
Uh-huh.
basketball's still going, keep going, guys and girls.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But man, 75
Beautiful
degrees,
day.
just a light wind. Vitamin D shining all over my skin.
Beautiful
It was
thing.
so wonderful.
Snow's coming next week.
So, right, yeah. What did you see Friday? Like they're talking about
Negatives.
another one of those low pressure systems,
Mm-hmm.
like last week with the wind insane, except no snow on the back end. Like we're talking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, although I
That
was
was
wishing I had a wind turbine last week. I thought
You would
I would pay
store
for
up
my
enough
year.
for the year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd have enough electricity for the year based on that one day.
Let
though.
your hamster have a day off. You know.
That's right. Hell that
My
way.
hamster's been running everything for years.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the weather was
gosh.
so good yesterday, and
It
since
was nice.
Mondays
Very
are my
nice.
day off. It was like.
The kids.
Also, I don't always like having Monday as my day off, but after a time change,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
nice.
Solid. You
exactly
feel
how
like
that
a
would-
little bit superior. Like, I figured this out.
Yeah.
I did this.
Well, so that was actually
But today's now my Monday, so I'm really sucking it up today.
well, that was what was really nice because last fall we started going to our Saturday night service at church. So
Yeah.
we don't get up on Sunday mornings to go to church. We've
You'll have
already
to
been
feel
to
it.
church.
You done it.
So that time change didn't. We just slept as long as we wanted. We didn't have to get up
Good.
early. But then again, Monday comes, Tuesday comes, and then you got to get
Reality
up.
check.
But we did have a little bit of extra time
Kids
to
were
adjust.
decided to wear shorts today. They're
Oh,
like,
man.
How
It's gonna be
warm is
80
it gonna be?
degrees.
It's gonna be 80. But it's like weird. It's like 80 at like 5 o'clock.
Right. Well, yeah, that's the thing is like last week at soccer training, you maybe started warm, but by
Yeah.
the time it ends, it's cold.
It's different.
Right? Because it's almost sunset. Now, it's like almost middle of the day when I'm out there. It's just 1 hour difference, but it's all the difference in the world.
Pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I love it.
What a difference an hour makes. But
For sure.
Let's see what else is going on.
More
in
middle of the
world?
day.
I don't even know.
What is going on
I
in the
don't
world?
know. I've been very
well, there's
busy with
chamber lunch, but
Chamber lunch today
Chamber
at
lunch
Story
today.
Church.
the
Yeah.
the
Story time.
last rule I heard on the chamber lunch was a strongly worded email that said, "Don't just show up.
Oh, like
You
food,
got to
like,
register ahead of time." I'm like,
register to get
okay,
your
you know
food. Oh,
what?
if you want food, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't
Yeah.
plan that far ahead.
I can't. It's too hard to plan.
So-
Yeah, I think that's if you want food, they need
Yeah.
to know. I think
Yeah.
you can just show
You
up.
could just show up if you don't
And I
eat.
get it. That makes
Everybody listen.
that makes
Who's the
sense.
speaker today? I need to look. I don't know.
That's a great question.
Somebody,
Hope it's not me.
not me.
It's Chris Ballard.
I got something to say. Sit down. I got something to say to you people.
It's like Frank Costanza.
Frank Costanza. You caught that.
I
You
did.
caught that.
I got it. Yeah.
I'm yawning.
Yeah,
Oh,
stop that.
Sorry.
Stop that.
Sorry.
That's everybody everywhere, though, so it's okay.
There's pros and cons, I think, to having a local Rogersville newspaper. I found myself. I found myself sucked into the health inspection reviews, and I'm just like, oh.
I haven't looked at that.
Oh, don't. If you want to enjoy.
Well, no.
My dad used to be a
I
health
think you should.
inspector, so.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Here's
He's got
the
stories.
Here's the thing.
Wow,
There
woo,
were several restaurants that came through shining.
Shining,
No,
like bright stars.
no violations at all. We're talking Time to Loaf, perfect. Empire Coffee, perfect.
New Godfather's Pizza Truck was perfect.
Is this Green County?
That's not what I read.
No, not new Big Slice.
Big
New
Slice.
Big Slice.
Big
Pizza Truck
Slice,
was perfect.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I said that
Well, I
right.
haven't been open long enough to have an inspection beyond perfect.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I did see on there, though, so there was a London Calling pre-opening inspection on the list.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. They
Yeah, I
need to
saw
pop up.
Yeah, but they're all. That's weird.
I think it's because they
Pre-opening.
open in Webster County from time to time. Here's my take on that, and I thought about that. And of course, Kizzy's my sister-in-law doing the paper, and when she first was like, "Oh, I'm putting inspections," I'm like, ugh. Like that's kind of scary. But then I'm like, you know what? One thing that okay, so in bigger towns like Springfield, the health inspections have been published a long time, and they get shared around social media, and you kind of know what's going on. And sometimes in small towns, you kind of skate by without
Yeah.
much oversight.
Yep.
Because people tend to, maybe there's just not an outlet to put it on, or, maybe people just kind of the Midwest nice thing. They don't want to put their neighbors on blast. But it's kind of one of those things where, people have a right to know information, the good and the bad. And when you have public information, it's kind of important for it to be out there.
As I read the list of violations, I'm surprised at some of the things that people that are serving food to the public are letting go. And I did the culinary class, I did the Save Serve certifications, I've got those certifications, so I guess I know what those are supposed to be. But some of it just seems like common sense. There was one. There was like fish stored over
veggies.
Over veggies.
That's a really common thing. So I mentioned my dad was a health inspector, and there are certain kinds of restaurants, I'll leave it at that are notoriously bad about putting poultry right next to the cabbage or whatever, you know, and so it's,
veggies
right over it, and it's
cooked food, veggies, and you do your beef, and then your pork, and then your poultry, and your fish.
Yeah.
You do it.
So those are the common occurrences, and maybe it is a little bit cultural, and so you have to kind of grow into some of that. There are expectations here that you kind of have to go through. But if you've never gone through those classes, or there were barriers to understanding those things.
We've got not all this, but sometimes when you're trying to cram a restaurant space into a space that's not designed to be a restaurant, it doesn't always work well.
The workflow is difficult.
Especially when you're dealing with large varieties of menu items, right?
Yep.
Because it's like there's only so much space in some kitchens, and if you only have so much space, that should it happen? No. Is it more likely to happen? Yes, I think. But I don't know, and it's so hard. It's so hard to run a business, as we all know. And I do think it is. I do think it's good that they're being posted, and I think that's the purpose of something like a newspaper, and to get information out to people, because it's kind of like the old want to complain, like we talked about want to complain on Facebook about the stuff that's happening in the town, but you've also never been to a Board of Aldermen meeting and heard what's really going on, good and bad.
Yep.
So, I mean, it kind of goes back to that whole thing. Like, I think there's a place in Rogersville for a lot more communication. And I think the newspaper helps with that. And then I think there probably needs to be some other ways that's expanded.
Yeah.
My general thought. My take.
Well, all we need is a news reporter for Planet 417, and we'll make it happen. So
It'd be fun.
It would be fun. We have that.
Take
No,
about
when I say there's
$1.
pros and cons to it being in the paper, I love the fact that they're in there. But the con is sometimes I find out things,
that you don't want to know.
when ignorance is bliss, 'tis folly to be wise,
Yeah.
is the entire quote. And,
yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you find out things maybe you would have been happier not knowing. Maybe
Yeah.
not healthier, but
Well,
maybe
I-
happier.
I think another thing to keep in mind is running a restaurant or any kind of business. You are dependent upon employees. I've made good hires and I've made bad hires, and sometimes you find out things along the way, and you have to
Pivot.
pivot, right? And so the hard thing, especially in a small town, is that negative language reverberates.
Yeah.
And so you may make the correction, you may make the pivot, but
The damage is done.
The damage is done, and it takes a long time to come back from it. And
sure.
so, the new business hasn't had their moment yet, but it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hire that bad employee. You're never going to bat 1,000.
No,
right? So
absolutely not.
You've got your systems, you've got your expectations, and then you find out, oh, hey, we don't do that here, right? And so that's the hard thing about a small town, though, is like once you get a bad name here in a certain area, it's like it sticks to you forever. Whereas in a large town, there's a whole new list of clientele that can come through, and
and here's a different type of
you recover quicker is what I'm
of
trying to say.
issue that happens. You'll have somebody that starts a business and they do a wonderful job and they provide wonderful service, and their client base grows, and then they expand their truck or their advertising.
Now we're
their
going to start serving
billboards.
this or do this
And
service.
next thing you know, they've got a lot of advertising or a lot of overhead that they're having to pay for, and their prices just absolutely skyrocket.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another, especially in a small town, that you got to be careful about. You can kind of get by with that in a bigger place like Springfield, because I don't know how many different contractors I've seen go through that model of like, oh, this guy is the best at, I don't know. I don't want to be too specific.
Right.
And people be like,
Call
you're talking
somebody
about
out.
so-and-so.
Yeah.
But, it's like, oh, it was just a guy and his truck, and now he's got a fleet of trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And when they pull in, you're like, well, that's why my bill is $1,000 more than it used to be. And good for him, but you have to have enough people to accommodate the different types of consumers who want, the big truck showing up or just the guy in his work truck, right?
Well,
so
the other thing
tricky.
I've seen happen, and this with the restaurant, and it's been, golly, at least 15 years so, and I think everybody's moved, so I'm going to call it out. So when my office was in downtown Springfield, I could walk out of the back of my office, which was Patton Alley, and there was a little place called Patton Alley Pub.
Yeah, I remember Patton
I
Alley
used
Pub.
to love that.
And when they opened, it was the best food. It was so good. I really, really liked it. But then pressures happened, and you could just tell they're serving the same frozen chicken tenders that everybody else's in town is getting, and the same frozen French fries. And it wasn't that, because originally it was like you could tell it was hand breaded and hand cut fries, and everything was great. But I don't know what. I know they lost a cook at some point.
Yeah.
But it's the same type thing. I think business pressures take over, and maybe you're looking way to make more money, or maybe you've gotten a little overextended, and so you've got so you cut costs. Now your product quality is not as good, and now your customers don't come back, and you killed your business.
The other thing is, here's the other weird. When you open a new business now, you are flooded with people telling you how to run your business and who you need to accommodate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You should do this like this restaurant over here does it,
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I'm a simple, let's say I'm a lady who's opened a bagel shop. Okay, I opened my bagel shop. I'm making bagels. I
didn't know you were Jewish.
Yeah.
I want to know where to get the bagel.
I put your heart and soul into my bagel shop. And this is
Heart
just
and
an
Soul
example.
Bagel Shop.
Yeah.
This is Lauren. How may I help you?
Lauren, I've been perfecting this recipe for 42 years. So somebody walks in and says, "Hey, I love your bagels. My, sister's gluten-free. Do you have a gluten-free bagel option?" And you're like, "Oh, no, sorry, I can't accommodate that." And then, the next day somebody walks in.
No, wait a minute. You missed a step.
Yeah.
Because you missed a step where the person that didn't get what they wanted blasted it on Facebook this person
It's that-
refuses to.
Yeah.
It's people that have celiac disease.
Yeah.
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 She spat in my face.
Yeah. And
Which Chris and I both have kids that deal with that. So,
So, yeah.
we're on your side.
And then it's like,
nominally.
and then, the next person comes in and they're like, I have an egg allergy. Is there any way that you can
Make one
a
without eggs.
bagel without an egg?
whip up one.
And you're
I just
like,
want one.
and being the person that being the type of person that perfects a recipe and then puts it out there to the masses, it's like releasing your baby on the world, right? You want to accommodate people. And then you start trying to accommodate people. And then they're like, oh, by the way, and it's not a dig at people with food allergies or preferences, because there's both in this. It's just it's a numbers game.
Sure.
You get to a point where you absolutely cannot accommodate
right.
everyone. And this is another new thing that we deal with that is new, because back when I was a kid, someone opened a restaurant and you might have some of your regulars come in and tell you, "Hey, why don't you add, catfish to the menu on Fridays, maybe during Lent or whatever."
Right.
And you're like, "Oh, that's a good idea." But then there wasn't 42 people chiming in the comments section, because there was no comment
There was
section.
no Google reviews. There was no Yelp reviews. There was nothing.
Yeah, and then you could kind of quietly also try things and then walk away from them.
Right.
Like, "Oh, we tried catfish on Fridays and it doesn't work," because there's 2 Catholics in the entire town. Like, that's my...
Right. No, that's
And again,
right.
I'm not trying to be like insult. It's just like, this is just the facts of life, right? And so it's like...
Which was a great show. But anyway.
it was good.
Go ahead.
But then you
Take
weren't...
the good, you take the bad.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
take them both, and then you have.
So now it's, I don't know, I feel for restaurant owners. And I just, even more so, it's always been a hard industry, like super hard. And now it's even more complicated with this layer of expectations.
Yeah.
It's tricky. I don't know.
tricky.
Very tricky. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Well,
How'd we get here?
We
I have no idea.
Health
We're just waffling.
inspections.
We're just waffling.
Health inspections.
Yeah,
is
we're
where
just
we
waffling.
started was on the health inspections.
But, it's exciting. And I will say there was a couple pop-ups in Rogersville over the weekend, and they did very well.
Yeah.
Sue was very busy. I think Planet Gumball has tested some ice cream and figgies. That, I think, was very busy.
We're going to, speaking of fried fish, we're going to have the Southern Fried Fish Company once a month on a Thursday night.
That's great.
Out here at Storytime. So
What time will Thursday night begin?
it'll be Thursday. Sorry, all day
Oh.
Thursday.
I think that's
And it's
wonderful.
once a month, and it's
Okay.
so it's not 2 weeks from Thursday. I believe
Keep us
is the first
posted.
date.
I like
I'll-
their
I'll-
fish.
we'll publish the date.
I like their fish. It's
Because,
tasty.
honestly, that's one of the things that I miss in this complex is a place to get lunch.
Grab some
Yeah,
food.
yeah.
I would love to be able to walk somewhere,
Yeah.
get lunch, and come back and not.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
I'm not going to lie.
We'll see how it goes. If it goes well, we may see if we can get more food
Well,
trucks out here.
let's
as well.
make a food truck.
I'm
of it,
very,
but, yeah.
because it is
Brilliant.
real. You have neighborhood options. Like
Yeah.
where I am, it's getting awesome. I'm not going to lie. I've
Yeah.
got Sue. I've got Brenda. I've got Big Slice now. I can literally walk out of my office or walk through my office door. And I feel like so lucky to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I did appreciate
Yeah.
that about my building in downtown Springfield. I had
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of great
Walk
places
to,
to
yeah.
walk to food.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
But I mean,
end
that's
up hated being down there.
Oh yeah, that's the one
a
good
lot.
thing,
From
right?
the time that I bought the building to the time I sold it, the downtown changed dramatically.
Oh, it did, yeah.
It changed. But
there's the downtowns are always so cyclical. But that is one thing I firmly believe creates community is food. It's been like this since the dawn of time. And when you bring food, whether it's a food truck or a restaurant or a pop-up or whatever, to an area that's either businesses or residential or a combination of both, you create community because you've
Yeah.
created a place together.
And that's
So
what
it's
I'm
very
most
important.
excited about with these homes that are being built. I know some people are upset about the size of the homes and whatever,
Yeah.
but
It is what it is.
It's just exciting that we're going to have neighbors,
Yeah.
and then like you said, neighbors want to walk to places
Yes.
like Storytime Coffee Company, and who knows
Absolutely.
what else will be built here
I mean, that's
on
wonderful.
on the
It's-
14 acres of commercial that still exists.
Yeah, it's like the coolest thing ever to be able to just pop out your front
build
door
something.
and go walk to something.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I
Yeah.
love it.
especially as the weather gets nice and
Yeah,
you want to
it's
walk.
amazing.
Let's build an Applebee's. What do you say?
An Applebee's.
An
Let's
Applebee's.
put an Applebee's in.
I don't want
You
an
and me at
Applebee's,
Applebee's,
sorry.
growing old together.
Yeah.
I love Vince Vaughn. It's just
I
movie was
love
that?
Vince
That was-
Vaughn.
I don't know. You lost me on that.
I think that was. What's the one about where they? Is it couples retreat? Couples.
Could be. I don't know.
Is it couples
Seen that.
retreat?
Is
That
the
sounds
Vince-
like
Vince
the name of the
Vaughn and
movie.
Sarah Jessica Parker? Is
Not
that
Sarah
that? No.
Jessica Parker. It's
Couples Retreat sounds
But Vince
right, but I don't
Vaughn's
know
in
for
that
sure.
one.
yes.
Yeah.
It is so funny.
It's
Yeah.
pretty
That-
good.
That is one of the anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of, but, interesting. I think I've only watched it once, though.
growing old together at Applebee's. That's I think of that bit. It just cracks me up.
I haven't been to Applebee's in so long.
Right? And why wouldn't you? And why wouldn't you go to Applebee's? Because you
kinda
can't
mi-
walk out of your office and go to Applebee's.
I kind of miss the TGI Fridays. I liked the TGI
Man,
Fridays. They had such an
TGI
eclectic menu.
Fridays, there's queso and salsa. Dadgum, it's delicious.
Yeah,
it
see,
was so good.
It was the first place
So good.
in my life I ever had pot stickers.
Their pot stickers were good.
Oh wait,
actually.
no, I'm not thinking. I'm thinking of chili.
Chili's
Chili's.
had. I was
Yeah.
getting. I was
Okay.
getting ready to argue with you
Friday,
about that.
what was the thing? It was the pot stickers.
Pot
were really
stickers,
good. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm like mixing
Fridays had
names
some.
today.
Now was an appetizer they
Then I
had. I
started
remember
buying
what
them
it
in
was.
Ooh,
frozen
that's like
trays
getting
at Sam's,
fancy.
cooking them at home.
Pot stickers are delicious.
I
Beth,
bet.
we're just glad to know you're alive.
Wait,
we
is
were,
Fridays
we
gone?
we have
launched
already
at the
sent out the
beginning.
search
Does
party.
Fridays still exist?
So I was.
TGI
where was
Fridays.
I?
Well, not in town. It went out in Springfield. It's not
I
here
was
anymore.
somewhere-
It's like getting basted barbecue.
And now it's going to be a Korean hot pot place because it's not getting based anymore.
I don't
Is it
remember where
not?
I was. I was out of town and I saw Fridays, but it wasn't TGI Fridays. It was simply Fridays.
Fridays.
And you could tell it used to be a TGI Fridays that
See.
somebody local bought.
Yeah.
And just like,
the
we're going to
bourbon,
keep doing
the,
this.
What the burger?
Bourbon chicken.
Bourbon chicken.
That's
the
what it was
bourbon
at TGI
burger
Fridays.
was delicious.
So
It
good.
was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally getting Chili's
That's what-
and Fridays mixed up because they're like in Springfield. They were right by each other
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah, just down
Okay.
the road.
Chili's
on
is still
47.
there.
Chili's, it's your queso and your salsa. are
Chili's is
amazing.
still there.
You're the wind beneath my wings.
I haven't been to Chili's in a
I haven't been
while.
to Chili's
I
in
haven't been.
forever.
Yeah, I
I'm
haven't been there in a
drooling
long,
now.
I kind of want to go to Chili, but we've been, when we've been going out, we've been.
About queso and
Yeah.
drilling.
Yeah, she started thinking about queso. She started
Okay.
I am
slobbering.
verklempt.
Let's get the wind screens and throw them in the wash. It's been 4 years, so we didn't breathe
Best
into these
broccoli
things.
cheese soup. You know,
Yeah, it
there
was
was
good.
there was a time, and I don't believe that time is now, but there was a time when Applebee's, Chili's, Fridays, they were powerhouses.
Olive Garden.
Man, Olive Garden.
OG,
Yeah.
Olive
Olive
Garden.
Garden was
OG,
like
yeah.
fine dining.
Yeah.
Fine Italian
And
dining.
man, the food was good.
Red Lobster.
The Red Lobster.
Yeah.
The atmosphere was strong.
Fancy.
It was
seafood.
not. You felt like special. You're like, I'm gonna go splurge. I'm gonna spend $12
So here's the-
on an entree.
So here's the thing, the
20
the
if you
Gen
get the
Xers that hit all those things, we took our kids to those restaurants, and so those restaurants to the Zoomers are what Shoney's is to us.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Oy,
Like,
Shoney's.
I think about it, my kids are like, let's go get sushi. I'm like, what kind of privilege? Like what? I said, let's go get
Sushi?
You
lunch.
little white kid.
What are you doing? There's no sushi for lunch
Want me to
today,
drop a hundo
child.
on your
There's
on
no
your lunch.
volcano roll.
What are you doing?
I do like the movie. I've seen a couple of those
I
movies.
got excited about McChicken nuggets,
I know,
and you
right?
want sushi.
I'm getting a Happy Meal. I'm a big boy. I get a Big Mac now.
That's right.
But it was like and you got like if you went with your girlfriends, you got spinach artichoke dip,
Oh,
spin
that's-
dip, and you guys were the cream of the crop. I mean, that was a night
Spin it
out
big.
at one of those. What are those called? They're not what are they? They're some sort of casual restaurant. They're not fast casual. That's like a Chipotle. They're like they have a name.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
And now it's changed a lot. The atmosphere's changed. I think the quality of food overall
For
has
sure.
changed.
They're all buying the same food from the
from the
Schwann's
same,
band.
yeah, from the same. Well, Schwann's is gone too now. They imploded.
Oh,
I just got a
Yeah.
text from Aaron Christian.
Oh, no.
It appears to be a chart that is showing the solstices and I don't know. It's very colorful.
Oh, so it's
we're
like
back
the
on
whole
the time change?
But
the whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah, it's very colorful. But I
If you're
can't.
paying
Yes,
Dad
Beth,
for
that's right.
sushi.
Since I'm paying.
Oh, I see. It's got the day of the non-leap year across the lateral axis.
Okay.
And then
the annexation of
and
Puerto
then
Rico?
the
It
up
could be.
the up and down is the latitude, and then so you look at you can cross reference the latitude and the day of the year, and it'll tell you
Like-
something based on the color. But I don't have the key to know what
Is
the
this
colors
back
mean.
to my question about time? Thank you for
Thanks,
sending
Aaron.
that, Aaron,
We've
by
come
the way.
we've
You're a
come full
delightful
circle
human.
back to the time change.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm still living in a Friday.
And all the businesses would be doing better. The restaurants would be better if we could just stay on daylight savings time.
Exactly. It's good for business.
It is good for business. People want to be out because the sun's out later.
Yeah.
We'll go to work in the
man.
dark, but we want to come home to light.
Yeah. I don't mind going to work in the dark.
No.
No.
Going to work.
Because
Makes no difference.
Because the light's coming.
There's
The light's coming.
I can go to work knowing the light is coming.
That's right. There's a light at the end of it. Wow. How many more of these do we got? Throw them out
Too bad
there.
I can't lose my salvation because I would have just gotten saved again.
That's right.
That was that good.
It was that good.
That good.
Speaking of that, Easter's not too far off.
There you go. All right, got it. Rolling it right in there.
Yeah, we knew something was coming up. What is that thing again? Oh, yeah, Easter.
I just love the amount of wind we are sucking today on topics. We're just like, we're trying.
I'm just trying to get through this. I want to go take a nap.
That's like asteroids are taking us
They
out.
revised that estimate. They no longer think the asteroid's going to hit us. So
Oh, we
well,
good?
that's a blessing.
We good now?
yeah, we're good again. We're good now.
I don't know.
It's only a matter of time, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, we were in trouble because the illegal alien that was going to save us from
He
the
was gonna say
asteroid
we
has
deported
been
him.
deported.
Yeah.
And so, never mind all the babies
I
we've
was going to say
aborted.
that is such an insane
we
argument
deport?
from
What?
people that are pro-abortion.
yeah, pro-abortion people like
So Michael Moore.
The one
What
person,
are we
Michael Moore.
talking
This
about?
is Michael Moore came out and said, these illegal, he wouldn't call them that, but these people we've deported, who knows, one of them could have found a cure for cancer, could have saved us from the asteroid that was going to destroy the Earth. And all the conservatives are going, what about the babies?
What about the millions of aborted babies?
Yeah, could they have maybe saved the world?
One of those babies could have
one
had
of
that
those.
in the future.
The cognitive dissonance, Michael Moore.
Michael
From-
Moore, the filmmaker guy?
Yes.
Is he still around?
Right? He had
one good movie about Flint, Michigan that we all had to watch in high school
I didn't watch it.
or college.
He wasn't
I don't
getting enough attention, so he raised his hand and said,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm still alive.
Remember me? I exist.
I exist. Let me say something
exist
know. Was
outrageous."
it him or Rosie O'Donnell? I can never tell them apart.
Have you
a
ever seen
burn.
them in the same room?
I haven't. I have not. Can't say that I have.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, I missed that. I missed that connection that he
goodness.
had made.
Goodness me.
Yeah, but
Wow.
it's so inane. It's like,
Shanda, Michael Moore's a
did
mess.
he know
yeah,
he
I
was
think he
ripping
is.
that off? I mean, there's a level of which you could go. He intended that to be a parody, sort of, or like I'm going to use that pro-life argument against him here. I just don't think he's that smart.
No,
and it certainly didn't come off that.
He was
way.
in his echo chamber.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
You gotta watch those echo chambers.
People in those those liberal echo
watch
chambers, they don't
those.
hear. They don't even hear the other side.
Yeah.
Which is
He
those
couldn't
of us
see
in
it.
a conservative echo chamber, we can't help but hear the other side because it's blasted
So
at
loud.
us
That's like
everywhere.
it's another scare tactic.
Yeah.
That's wild. I don't know. I didn't expect to hear the name Michael Moore today or any
Indeed
of
he
that
is.
stuff. It's been such a random conversation. This is the
good
waffle.
show.
This is the
We
true
have-
essence of the waffle.
We have truly waffled.
It's like we're on our C+ game today, and
I feel like we crescendoed into it.
I think we did. We've handled it pretty well. Last week was such an intense, it was good, hard hitting, and this has just been
Lighthearted.
and it's just crispy waffles. I like
Crispy
it.
waffles.
I like it a lot.
Hey, if you're going to be looking for Alex Bryant's show, he's not going to be air today or Thursday. He will
Oh,
be
good
back
to know.
on Friday.
Coming
He'll be
in hot
back
on
on
Friday.
Friday. So he's going to switch his show to Fridays, at least for the time being. So if you're wanting to catch Alex Bryant's Frontline Faith, he'll be right here on Planet 417 Friday at 9 a.m.
it's very cool. I'm gonna
right.
go do the walk with my friend Jeannie that we walk on the mornings, get my exercise. We did good all winter, and then we hit some difficult weather time. So I'm anxious to be doing that consistently again. I am not gonna lie though, when all these houses get built and they start building over there, the whole town loses their walking trail. And that's a
Do they
bummer.
now? I don't think they do.
Well,
You have people to wave to now.
when you're doing construction,
Yeah.
it's really hard to
that's
walk
true.
through a construction
That's
zone
fair.
for
There
2
was
years.
there was a street near my house that it was literally the street and lots for sale, and it was great to run on.
Yeah.
And then now you're dodging,
it's
pickup
hard.
trucks and,
the
construction
road
workers.
gets gravelly and muddy,
Yep,
and there's
yep.
pickup trucks and
Yeah,
people
that's
loud,
true.
and it gets loud, and it's a lot.
I guess if you're looking for something to do tonight about 6 o'clock while the sun goes down, you can come right here. We'll be doing a state planning presentation from 6 to 7:30, which is
Exciting.
it's a lot of fun.
Riveting.
A good time.
High school girls basketball team will also be playing a sectional playoff game, so
Very
there's
nice.
that as well.
Are they home or they?
I believe they are at home.
Okay.
Last night the boys hosted and won, and so
Nice.
That's great.
Somebody correct me. I do think that we host the girls game tonight.
I have no idea. I am so. I don't have a lot going on the calendar this week, so I'm trying to just be home and do things at home.
Nice.
It's nice to do.
All right. Finish your waffles. We're going to get out of here.
All right.
We gotta go.
See you next week.